Welcome to Dominate Real Estate Podcast, the $1 Million Blueprint where luxury meets expertise in the world of high-end real estate. Hosted by Taliya Bashani, top real estate attorney, and Carina Tom, president of New World Connect Title. Stay tuned as we dive deep in the minds of top producing luxury real estate agents, uncovering the strategies, insights, and secrets that have helped them make millions. Get ready to level up your real estate game as we guide you through the latest market trends and the stories behind the most exclusive deals in the industry. This is the place where sophistication and success dominate. And now, recording live from the Hard Rock Hotel in New York City, here are your hosts, Taliya and Carina.
Welcome to Dominate Real Estate Podcast, the podcast where real estate's top performers spill their secrets of success. Recording live from the Hard Rock Hotel in New York City, I'm Taliya Bashani.
And I'm Carina Tom. And together we bring you the strategies, mindsets, and moments that took the industry's most successful agents from open houses to powerhouse closings.
Whether you're an aspiring agent, a seasoned pro, or just looking to level up your game,
you're in the right place. It's time to dominate real estate.
We are excited to welcome our guest, top real estate agent and star of Selling the City on Netflix, Jordyn Taylor Braff.
Hi, ladies.
Hi,
Honey, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm so happy to be here.
Now, Jordyn, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started in real estate.
Sure. So I moved to New York City in 2014. Okay. I was nowhere near the real estate industry, but what I was doing is I was finding friends and family's apartments just for fun. I was good at it. I have the ability to listen to what people are telling me and kind of sift through what they're saying and what they actually mean, which I think it takes you from a good agent to a great agent to not necessarily, but what is it? It's, I guess, anticipating what their needs actually are. You know, if someone is not familiar with New York City or not familiar with real estate, sometimes they don't exactly have the right ideas in terms of what they want. So I was looking for a particular client and they wanted something that was brand new, would not consider pre-war. Absolutely not. It just needs to be perfect, spick, span, perfect. And I remember thinking after a few showings with him, I don't think you actually want post-war. Like, I think that you actually enjoy character and you just want something that's very, renovated and beautiful. And so we ended up finding him a beautiful apartment, Stella Towers. I think it's at West 50th. And it was my first sale in real estate, and that was a $10+ million sale. So I kind of gotten to skip some of the smaller things.
So you were like born for this. You were very passionate.
I guess so.
I love it. I love
it. Yeah.
It's nice to know when someone really enjoys what they're doing and has a passion for it. So you definitely emulate that.
Thank you.
And I love that. And you kind of broke the ice with your first client by getting a multi-million-dollar sale.
Absolutely. It's not the typical story for sure. So I'm very grateful for that.
You're destined. It's in your fate.
I love that.
So, Jordyn, considering, we see, especially these days, there's a lot of reality TV real estate shows. Mm-hmm. The producers obviously depict real estate agents in a certain light. Sure. What do you think is the biggest misconception about real estate agents?
I think that this question kind of comes down to misconception about female agents in the industry. I think that the shows, mine included, kind of paint the industry as this like ultra glamorous, only ever socializing. It's all about looks. And while these things I think are tools and they're components of it, socializing is a huge component of real estate. It's not everything. And I learned what I loved about our show in particular is every single woman on our show is a working agent. Mm-hmm. They have the years and the credentials to kind of back up what they were showing on screen. And so, yes, there is glam and there is socializing and the women are beautiful, but there's also incredible talent. They're extremely smart. They are wonderful negotiators. And so we just have the power to back up
what you
fluff,
show. Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, and they're hustlers, you know? I mean, you guys work probably what a lot of people don't see is what happens behind the scenes, right?
Sure.
Like you're hustling, you're on the calls, you're running to
You're
appointments.
crying. You're literally crying.
It's you
Blood,
know,
sweat, and tears.
yeah,
For sure.
it's like so much more than what they show, I
Definitely.
think, on TV. And there is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
And I would think that people like, I loved the show that we did. And I think it was beautiful and it really showed the city in a beautiful light. But it would be nice to kind of see some of like the nitty gritty,
Right.
you know,
The reality.
the reality of it, where we're not always in heels. We're not always we're
Absolutely.
usually not in dresses, you know?
Right.
So I think that it would have been nice to kind of dig into that a little bit more, and hopefully shows in the future do that.
Yeah.
I think that would be an amazing idea because a lot of times, listen, we are people that are out in the public's eye. What you've done really has probably inspired a lot of young women that would love to come into this industry. But a lot of times, if you want to come into this for the wrong reasons, you're not going to make it.
You won't.
Once you realize that this is actual work, you have to learn your craft. You have to have certain tools in order to get these deals accepted.
Yeah.
And if you're not that type of person that's going to really put in that work, you're not going to make it.
Yeah. You have to be a self-starter. And I think a lot of people see the glitz and the glam of it and think, I want that.
Right.
And that's 15% of it.
Yeah. And multi-million-dollar deals are not just falling from the sky, you know, like it's, you know, where's my net? You know, it's not at all. But, real estate is a roller coaster, you know, in my field and Karina's field, you know, we've been doing this almost 20 years for myself, and it's a roller coaster. There's so many ups and downs in real estate. So how do you find yourself? How do you stay resilient during the slow periods? Because you do have to get out there and get the deals. They don't just come into your lap. So what is your, best advice on how you're able to attack those challenges?
I think the first word that comes to mind is tenacity. You do have to push yourself through those hard times.
Yeah.
I have a lot of young agents or first-time agents who ask, what's the best advice you can give me? And it's always your first year, your first couple years, you might not make any money.
Right.
You might make great money. And then a couple years down the road, you're making no money again.
Yeah.
And so you have to be smart with your money. And then you have to attack real estate from multiple, you have to have multiple offenses here. Right. So you have to have, your rental pipeline, your sales pipeline. You have to go after some of these new developments, short-term rentals during the summer out in the Hamptons. Like there are multiple ways and streams that you can kind of attack with real estate. And I think that you do. I came from a world for the first 6 years, I only worked with buyers. And that was such a mistake because I was so reliant on their timeline. And only recently, really in the last couple of years, I've started working more so with sellers. And it's, it's a whole different ballgame, but it's you have a security in the fact that you're approaching real estate from both sides.
Yeah. Good. That variety and switching it up. Yeah,
for sure.
All angles is so important for sure.
Especially in this market, you have to be somebody that's able to change. You have to be somebody that basically is going to be able to do all parts of the real estate industry, right? Sure. Whether being a listing agent or buyer's agent, even here in New York City, rentals, just willing to accommodate and serve the customer.
And there's such importance in making sure I know a lot of people that are like, I don't want to work with renters. And I'm like, but the pipeline is there. Most of the time these renters become buyers.
Yes.
Or these renters no buyers. Another piece of advice I give people is make sure you're working the direct leads at your open houses. I think people forget to do that.
Exactly.
Right? Yes.
They're great. They're great potential clients and you have to go after those.
I agree 100% with that. Love it, Jordyn. Dropping those nuggets.
Yeah.
All right.
Follow up and follow through. Excellent.
Right, Jordyn. So can you share any unique or innovative approaches you've taken in marketing or client relations that have made a difference in your business?
There have been many.
I'm sure.
I have a wide range of different clients and budgets and whatever it may be. So the one that comes to mind most recently, I tell you, I think maybe you've seen it, but I had a beautiful carriage house listing in Gramercy Park. And it's not very often as agents. I'm licensed both in New York and LA. So this is common in LA, but in New York, we don't often have a chance to put up for sale signs unless you have a townhouse or you have, as we had, a carriage house. So in print and on the front gate had a really nice little sign for sale by Jordyn. And it was nice to get those, one-off calls from neighbors who are just passing by. They've always been so curious about that house. It's such an iconic little house. I love it. And within just a couple months of putting that sign up, we had her sold. We're officially closed now. Went to a wonderful new owner.
Oh.
And so that was the most recent I can think of. It didn't hurt to have a television show. That was a nice, unique bit of marketing that I had for my business. I think it's different for every project, but it's nice to, again, diversify and make sure that you are kind of hitting everything, both with social media, with magazines, with newspapers, kind of hit every single thing you can to get these products sold.
I love it. Yeah.
Do you think direct mail is a thing of the past, or are people still doing mailers? Okay.
I love a mailer.
Okay.
I love a mailer. In fact, we are in the process of mailing every single carriage house in the city now to be like, hey, here's what we just did for this family.
Sold.
Yeah, I think it's time to sell yours. It's time.
Yeah.
So no, direct mailers I think are people don't do them anymore. And handwritten. I love a handwritten note.
Right.
I actually have like a machine now that does
handwrites them for you.
Yeah,
I handwrite all of them. No, I'm kidding.
She really puts in the work.
Arthritis for my clients.
Yes.
I like it, Jordyn. I like
It's the personal touch that goes a long way. Absolutely. But you brought up an interesting point because it is so unique to the New York City market, especially compared to California, where you can actually catch the foot traffic of people walking by,
right,
or people driving by, and they see for sale signs. They see your picture. Whereas in New York, you're selling condos and penthouses and, yes, townhomes and carriage homes, but very far and few between. Yeah. So you have to be a little bit more creative in your marketing approach here in New York City because you miss so much of that foot traffic. So I love that story. And that's actually a really good point that you brought up. So thank you for that. So let's talk a little bit about maintaining your network because you meet so many people all the time. I'm sure, like you said, the show catapulted your image and your publicity in so many ways. So you have a lot of people that are coming through your network. How do you maintain that network? How do you nurture those relationships with clients? What do you think really sets you apart from other agents in that department?
Yeah, this industry is relationships for sure. And I think I've always kind of had a knack for relationships. I very rarely end up with a client that I don't consider a friend and then eventually like very close. Sometimes family in a lot of cases. So for me, relationships are everything, whether that's a sale tomorrow or a sale in 10 years, or we never get a sale at all.
Yeah, sure.
I think that relationships are number one. And so to maintain those, I think it's important to have touches throughout the year. I think it's like, 7 touches a year with someone. And that can be done. It's very easy to do through social media.
Yeah.
I make sure just in conversations with people, I do this with friends, clients, family. I have notes for everyone. Oh. I have a terrible memory. It is the absolute worst. But my iPhone is like an extension of my memory now. So I'll have a note for everyone with wives' names, kids' names, birthdays, random little things that they mention that they love, whether that's like a candy bar or their favorite restaurant. And I try to add those kind of personal touches into my exchanges with them. And so it's not just, I don't use this just for work. I use this just to strengthen my personal relationships in general. And I think that it goes a very long way. People love to be heard and seen.
Absolutely.
And so it's a very happy thing to do. And remember, absolutely.
You come across as genuine when you actually care.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you remember things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
And some people have a good storage up here. That is not me. So I really have to take notes. And I think it's an easy thing for people
that works for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
At least you know yourself and you know what works and the little tricks of the trade that you have to build along the way.
For sure. I started asking people too, both clients and friends, in terms of the love languages. How do you receive love? How do you give love? And I have a list of my people and like the ways that they like to receive love. Because, sometimes it is a gift.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just want some affirmation. Sometimes they want personal time. So I make sure to try. I need to get back at this. Is a good reminder, actually.
Yeah.
But try to show people appreciation and love in the ways that speak to them most.
You know what, Jordyn, that definitely speaks to your success because we are in the relationship building 100%. And you come into this business and you think that you don't relationships aren't important and you just look at it as just a business, then you're not going to succeed.
Yeah. It's very easy for this to be a transactional industry. And obviously we're handling a lot of actual transactions, but it comes, there are too many great agents in the city. You have to set yourself apart by like
People that
loving them, honestly.
Yeah, I go the extra mile. Karina brings a cake to every closing.
Yeah,
I do.
I do.
That's really cute.
It's part of my company branding. We bring the cakes to the closing. It's a nice personal touch with the building, the house.
Yeah,
You know, on a national level, which is amazing.
That's very cute.
I'll call her and I'll say, Karina, you know, we have to touch base. We have to talk, you know, we have to. She's like, okay, well, I'm in my car. I'm driving this cake to the closing. You know,
I love that.
and it's cute, but it's doing those extra gestures that makes you memorable and the client really appreciates. So the love language thing, that's really cool. I only think about it. Yeah, I only think about it with relationships, you know, but with clients, oh my gosh, you're so right.
And I spend so much time with these people, right?
Yeah.
And so it's easy to like kind of take cues and just listen.
Yes.
Listen to people.
Right. And become listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So true.
You have to be a good.
We're like therapists, especially, you know, in our industry.
You guys are my therapists. So often through these.
I'll speak with other agents that we're working on a common client together, and we're both like talking them off the ledge, you know. And I'm like, okay, you handle this angle, I'll handle this angle. But it's true, you guys will sit on the phone with these clients for hours and just like to hear, you know, whatever it is, their stress or their gripes or their concerns, because so many clients, and I'm sure you've worked with first-time home buyers a lot, and so many of these clients, you know, they get cold feet buying in New York. Buying in New York is very overwhelming, you know, and so you have to kind of guide them through that process.
For sure. Sure. And also I think it's important to remember that the relationship continues afterwards. Right. And I think that's a big problem a lot of agents have is like, oh, we're done. Great.
Yeah. Forget about them afterwards.
Yeah. And I think you continue that on. I've babysat for clients. I'm at their baby showers. I'm at their weddings. It's great. It's a lifelong endeavor with them now.
Listen, I've been doing this for 30 years and I've been everywhere with my clients. A lot of my clients, I say that they're my family. They're my friends, you know, and that's how you have to look at if you're passionate about the business that you're in, you really pour your love into it.
For sure.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about lessons in life and in careers. So what do you wish that you knew when you were just starting out as an early agent and telling your younger self, you know, looking back, you know, this is a big lesson that I wish I knew, you know, when I started?
Yeah. There's a few. I think the first, like the easiest, it's not going to be heels every day, girl. Yeah. You're going to the pair of shoes for these showings. That's the practical one.
That's true.
But additionally, I think, I mean, it's the accumulation of all these things, right? It's making sure that you are looking at this as relationships, for one. Make sure that you're, you know, a big one for me was, if I was talking to myself, I'd say, hey, by the way, you're actually going to enjoy being at an office. Because I went into real estate because I was like, I don't have to be in an office. It's not a 9 to 5. I can create my own schedule. What? No, you cannot.
For a rude awakening.
What? So I think I would let myself know, like, look, I know it's scary. I came from the music industry. Like, this couldn't be further from what I knew. And so for me, I was like, I would tell myself, you're actually going to love being in an office. You're going to love the accountability that you're going to have with yourself, with your clients, with your teammates. I was on a team for a while. So I think that, prepare myself for that.
Yeah, sure.
Take away the stigma of like overhead lighting.
Right, exactly.
Tell me about the music industry. What were you doing before this?
I was it feels like another life now, but I was signed with Interscope Records when I was young with Jimmy Iovine. And then they kind of went through this whole switched into the digital world. And it was obvious to me that things were just a little too, I think, hectic. for me to actually have my music heard at the time. So I moved to Japan. I lived in Tokyo for 3 years. I pursued it out there.
Cool.
Yeah. And after I was out there for a while, I realized a few things. One, I wasn't really passionate about music. And so I felt like I was kind of taking someone's seat.
Right.
And I missed being in the States. I missed, dating and seeing my friends. And so I moved back here and I found my career sorbet, which was I did auto shows for a couple of years and loved it. I have a couch to sleep on in any state in the United States. And
It's nice little perk.
yeah. And then I stumbled my way into real estate once I moved to New York in 2014.
Fantastic. So we have a true superstar on the stage with us. Look at the You might have to give us a little, one of your songbird.
Oh no, road trips and showers only.
All right. Well, we'll save it for next time. But we're going to take a quick little commercial break to hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. Ari Brody, the mortgage man here from Cross Country Mortgage. So my pet peeve in the mortgage industry is it's the largest purchase of everybody's lives, and it's frequently the most stressful. So my sole objective and my sole job is to provide a super high level of service. Me and my team go out of our way to sit there and make sure this process is as easy and as smooth as we can possibly make it to take away as much of the stress as we possibly can. My job, my goal is to create raving fans. And my sole objective is to sit there and provide you with such a high level of service. You're going to walk away saying, wow, Ari and his team were freaking awesome. And therefore, you're going to refer me everybody you know, because my business is 100% referral based. We have a lot of programs. We have a lot of products. We have a lot of different ways that we can sit there and take care of you. If you have questions, concerns, anything you'd like to know, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to be a resource and help out any way I can. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Welcome back to the show. We're here with Jordyn Taylor Braff. And Jordyn, you mentioned before working on a team as opposed to working solo. And what would you say are the pros and cons in your experience?
Yeah, for sure. I've been blessed to do both. When I started real estate, I right away was working with what we can call, I guess, a mentor. It was a partner I was working with, and he was great. Showed me kind of the early ropes to things. And after that, I spent the largest chunk of my career working with my best friend, Carissa. And we had an amazing thing going on. It's really nice when you find, I guess, a partner. Technically, we were a team, the Taylor Martin team. But it's nice to be able to rely on someone. If I can't make a showing, then they can hop in and make that showing. If they have strengths that I don't have, we kind of fill in for each other. More recently, with the show and everything, I was on a team at Douglas Elliman. We were a team of mostly women, which was awesome. Right. It was. And I think that in my 10 years, that was probably one of the periods of that time that I grew the most. My team lead is very successful in the industry. She's very, very intelligent. And she gave me some really nice kind of processes for holding myself accountable, keeping myself organized. And so those are things I'll keep with me, forever moving forward. I think that solo, it gives you the opportunity to kind of move, I guess, self-brand yourself, which is great, but also move in a way where you test your own ideas and you test your own kind of, I guess, confidence and ability doing it on your own. I'm in that space now, and it's been awesome. I would say if I was in this space 5 or 6 years ago, it would be terrifying.
Right.
So, I encourage new agents to always find kind of a place to live and a hand to hold towards the beginning. But I think I'm in a place now where it's like, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to challenge myself.
Right.
And come out and look, that doesn't mean there's not collaborations. There are women from my former team that I sit next to still every day at my new office. Okay. And we run ideas past each other, and we still plan on, collaborating in the future. So I think being a solo agent doesn't mean alone, especially in New York City. I think collaboration is kind of the key word.
Absolutely.
For sure. But we'll see. I'm excited to.
I like the way in your story how you went about it. You started on a team, and a lot of times, I see agents coming out of the gate, and they just want to just be so in control that they're just not willing to learn or willing to trust the process by being on a team.
Right.
Sometimes it might be, or going underneath another agent, and humbling themselves and learning from them that have already paved the way and have that success. And I always teach this to my younger agents that, that I'm friends with, that I work with. And I tell them, everything in life, it goes in steps.
Yeah.
And it's really important what you did. And now coming out and being a solo agent, you're so seasoned that you're able to really maximize on that.
For sure.
So I love that.
For sure. So thank you.
I love that,
I appreciate that.
It's really good advice.
Thank you.
Actually.
When developing your personal brand, how would you describe your personal brand and how do you curate that brand when showcasing it in your career?
I think this comes down to authenticity. I think everyone needs to kind of, I would say, like, be yourself in this moment. I get to know my clients so well that I am not, let's see, I guess the type of agent I am, I'm very relaxed. I'm from California. So you definitely have that California energy. Yeah.
Fun loving.
Yeah. Like, I want, like, yes, I know my shit, but also let's go shopping.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go shopping.
Yeah.
Let's go enjoy this. Let me try to make this as, like, enjoyable as possible. It's a stressful thing. It can be for a lot of people. It's an emotional purchase usually.
Yeah.
For a lot of, like, first time home buyers, maybe it's whatever it may be. Yeah. So my job, I think, is to make you comfortable and let's actually enjoy this.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, the branding side of that, my social media, I would say, for the most part, I mean, I assume, is very me. Like, I don't try to put on a facade. I'm not trying to be anyone I'm not. Same goes for the show. I think the best feedback, or my favorite feedback I would get from people, is you are exactly who you are off camera. Like, the same person you are on camera is who you are off camera. Right. And I think, again, it's authenticity. People are going to see through, whether you're on camera or not. People are always going to see whether or not
through the smoke and mirrors.
100%.
Yeah. And you stay relatable, which is what I love about you. You know, you are so natural, you're so genuine, and you're relatable. You're not like this, untouchable person who it's like, oh my God, will she work with me? Then you're like, no, please. Like, I'm one of you. Like, yes, I was, on the top show on Netflix, but I'm still like, let's work together. I'd be happy to represent you in your purchase or sale.
For sure. Look, there are so many different types of agents. I'm never going to be this cutthroat, sneaky, like, car salesman. Like, none of those things are me. And so if that's the type of agent you need or want, like, go for that. That's wonderful. And there are plenty of those. If you want someone that's going to kind of, like, again, like, I'm going to be your friend, I'm going to be your family through this process, and it's going to be a little bit more, I guess, connected, then let's do it.
Then let's do it.
So you have to be authentic to who you are, bringing that to the table. It's a plus for everyone.
Oh, it is. It's definitely, it's so important. And I think that's one of the things that really set you apart, because you are who you are, your image, your brand, everything follows suit with that. And that's a beautiful thing. And it's hard to come by, especially in New York City, because it is a very dog-eat-dog type of city.
Yeah.
And also a lot of bait and switch,
For
that
sure.
they just want to get you in and, spit you out and, that's it, and collect their check and then they're off. So
I think that for people like me, it was a lesson for me, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty early on. I mean, you saw, I've had to deal with some characters.
Yeah.
Pretty early on.
Yeah.
So there is a moment of, like, oh, like, as someone confrontation isn't something I necessarily seek, but I'm gonna hold my own.
For sure.
And so I think it's important. Yes, you don't mistake my kindness.
Yes, exactly.
I know my shit. I'm willing to go to bat for my clients, but it doesn't have to be
catty.
It doesn't have to be catty.
It doesn't have to be so tense or so, like,
or drama.
I love enjoying the agent working across from me. We can do this. Like, again, it can be a collaboration rather than a fight with each other. And we can still both rally for our client.
Yes, so true. And that's how you get the job done.
I know the whole industry needs to hear that. Sometimes on a deal, it'll be like one of the sides will just add this unnecessary tension. And it's like, listen, we're all working towards the same goal. And that's to get to closing and make sure everybody's happy. And
for sure.
So, for sure. I like it, Jordyn.
Thank you.
I'd hire you.
Oh, great. I love that. I love that.
I love you.
Let me know when you're looking.
You have 2 clients here. Right. So we've seen your journey. We've seen, your growth. What do you see for yourself in the future? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Are there any aspects of real estate that you want to hone in on or focus on? What does the future look like for you?
This has always been one of the difficult questions for me because I've never been a planner. My life has always kind of like gracefully like thrown me into new situations. I didn't plan on being in real estate, or I didn't plan on a reality TV show. I say yes, and I'm like here for the plot a lot of the times. It's like I just do it for the plot.
Yeah.
And so in 5-6 years, I hope I'm somewhere I had no idea I'd be.
Okay.
But in terms of goals, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing in a way that services my clients in a way that they're happy and that I'm proud of. I would love to be, I love where I'm at. I love being at Douglas Elliman. I think maybe at that time, maybe it is a small team and maybe it is like a group of people that I get to kind of mentor as the next group in.
Yeah.
Love that.
But I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at right now, and I'm proud of where I'm at right now. So I think if it's anywhere above this, then it's a good place to be.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
As you should. Right. Definitely dominating, Jordyn.
Thank you.
I love it. Powerhouse women here.
Exactly.
Love it. You can feel the energy.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Jordyn. You definitely dropped some very valuable nuggets and advice, especially to all of our listeners and watchers out there. What is the best way for people to connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, very easy to. I'm very active on social media. So that's both TikTok and Instagram. It's at Jordyn Taylor now.
Okay.
I mean, online, I think Douglas Elliman has my email,
Okay.
my phone number. Don't use it unless it's for work.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, it's such a pleasure having you. And we'll see you closing those deals out there.
That's right. That's what
Closing those deals in heels and flats.
That's right.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. See you next time.
You have been tuning into Dominate Real Estate Podcast, the $1 Million Blueprint, live from the Hard Rock Hotel in New York City, with your hosts, Taliya Bashani and Carina Tom. For more information, please visit our Dominate Real Estate page on Instagram. You can also watch the show across all media outlets, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and more. Stay tuned for next week's episode. Thank you for your positive feedback, comments, and questions, and please share this show with your network.